Hello all and welcome again. This session we are going to see few more objects related example. For example, what we have done so far, we have seen how you can create expressions and that too with context of NX objects and the hierarchy structure of objects. We have seen create arc, create ellipse, create line with that same context. But we have also seen these objects uh, via these examples, the same journal examples, so many times so far. And there are two angles, as I already said, there are two angles of using NXOpen APIs. One angle is you are creating objects, and other angle is you are reading some information from the NX part or any other thing, either assembly or drawing, and we are reading that information of the objects. So any API you take, they broadly will follow under either of these, either that are creating object or reading object information. So we are going to touch upon reading object part of it, but still right now this session we will continue with object creation, but now we will take another route for the same. So let me share my screen. We'll share the journal that we had. We had a journal where we have recorded the journal and we have studied that journal in aspect different aspects of that journal we studied. I think it is day 3 only we studied. Oops, I have to check this. C sharp. Yeah. So this was a journal. Now we knew how we can create a line from scratch using using the APIs and the required variables. And also we have seen how we can go and declare those variables. But this journal was actually taking very different route for doing the same thing. And we have also seen the difference between these two. What we were doing is we were creating non-associative line with whatever API we are using, create line, curves dot create line, what we are using, and that was creating the line which was non-associative. And we have seen this particular journal that we have recorded. This is creating a associative line. Now I'm talking about the factory objects. So these are different than the non-associative ones. And these are actually the APIs or category of APIs. These create the object in NX. Actually, what we have seen is also creating the object, and that also called actually factory objects. But now I'm talking about the builder, which creates the associative objects. Associative means the simple difference I know is when you have associative object, you can see that object information in a part navigator. So when we click when we execute this journal and create the line, this line you are going to see in your part navigator. So that is called associative feature. Now, uh, what I will do is I do have two options to show you the builder related objects or builder related APIs. So what I will do first, I will go with creating the line from scratch using this option. Using this option mean this option associative line builder. So this is one of the API that we do have under features. Now you knew that how we created line earlier, uh, curves dot create line, because we knew that under curve collection we do have API called create line, and that create line API creates a line for us. Now this one is the similar thing as far as the object is concerned. We are going to create the line object only, but this is an associative line. And as this is associative line, this is the feature. This is only the one type of feature. And that's why this associative builder is actually a part of features collection class. And that is why it is used like this features dot associative line. Now let me take you through that API reference guide first, and we can go through the features class. So we understand about this builder, and from there we can start creating the same thing, uh, the same object, associative line object using a builder. So here in a reference guide, we do have features, right? As it is a features, uh, though it is a namespace still. Okay, so I can namespace means we'll be able to find lot of classes, but class is just one medium through which we go and access that API. So here I have to find the class, and okay, I think I don't need to find a class because I see the even builder classes are here. But let's see if I find, I will go through that. Otherwise, I can directly go and uh, start with the builder. Yeah, we do have a feature class which represents a feature on a part, and we do have a feature collection which represents collection of features. Now let's take this opportunity to understand what is different between the feature and feature collection. So feature is also one type of object in NXOpen, and feature collection is also the other type of object. Now let's try to understand the difference between two. The first obvious difference is, which is also common sense, is that feature is single object, but feature collection can have several feature objects. It means one more than one. It means it is a plural. So it is many in terms of a count. Even we can have one feature uh, inside the collection, but it can be several features as well. So how you can imagine this? The difference between two is feature means only one feature, but feature collection is basket, a basket of features, too many features. So like if I give you analogy, feature is like one apple, and feature collection is like basket of apples. So this is the major difference or the important difference that you need to uh, remember. If you remember this, then these kind of things where you have one object and another is a object collection, you won't get confused with that. Okay, so it is one apple against the basket of apples. So now let's understand some more details about these two type of objects. So first, the obvious thing is that if you are in confusion, spend more time on API reference guide. It is that simple. So it is like you can, what you can say, this is the biggest learning you can have from this entire 30 days class. If you are in doubt, explore API reference guide. So this is the biggest learning that you can have. So let's say we don't know the much of a difference between these two. So we can go into feature. And now you don't need to even spend too much time here going through each and every line because obviously you won't able to understand everything because this is still a programming side of it, software side of it. So I will just have a look quickly on this page, and we'll try to go through some APIs that I can understand. So, okay, we do have feature type, or let's say just remove this inherited, because if I remove inherited, a lot of inherited APIs that will be removed from this table. Now I do have a very short list. Okay, so what I have, which are very specific to this feature object, is this feature type. We have get children. We know that there is a parent-child relation in feature. So there is a API to get the children features. I, I, uh, I think there will be also a API that gets a parent. So that might be also there. You can see, yes, we do have get parents. Okay, get feature name. So what this is doing, these all APIs are actually getting more information about that object. So these APIs are helping me to get more information about that object. I can even get entities created by object, get expressions created by that feature. So this is all about feature, and we are trying to fetch, or there are list of APIs which are actually helping me get more information about that feature. Hide the body created by feature. Highlight the body created by feature. So everything related to feature we do have. Even we can go and suppress that feature. We can check if that is suppressed or not with this API. Okay, so we do have all of these kind of APIs which can help me fetch the information related to the feature. And I do have some APIs like suppress which perform some action on that specific feature. So this is the feature class. Overall, this is what this feature class do. Now let's come back and see the feature collection. It is too many classes there. Okay, now feature collection. Now I am again will untick this inherited, and let's see what other type of APIs I do have here. I will only try to find out which I can easily understand and you can also easily understand. Create assembly cut builder, create AOCS builder, create Boolean builder. All of that actually Boolean. Sorry, all of that related actually builder related. So these are different kind of features, and we do have a separate builder for that feature. And these APIs are actually means create means you know that creating means this API is helping to create that type of feature. We have not seen any API in the feature class that was related to creating a feature. We have seen the APIs there in the feature class were related to either reading out some information from feature or doing something with that feature, either suppress it or hide it. Only small things that we can do, either hide or suppress, or we can read the information from there. So that was the APIs. That these are the kind of APIs that we had in the feature class. Now you can see in the feature collection class, we do have the APIs which are actually creating some or other type of feature. So this one you can easily understand. Create chamfer builder. It is creating a chamfer feature. Create cone builder. It is creating cone builder. I think we do have extrude builder as well. We do have hole builder. So it is nothing but a builder. Even sketch builder. It is also the feature. So we'll have all these actually here. Uh, yeah, we do have hole feature. Extrude builder. We do have extrude builder. Okay, so this is the difference. So once you go through this, spend some time, apply your common sense, you're going to get the answer yourself. So this is about the difference between the collection and the single object. Now, little bit about builder. Actually, what happens is when you have a line, let me get back to the NXOpen, sorry, NX. Uh, so you know that when we have to create a line, the input parameters required for creating line are very simple. We just need 2 points and that's it. But when we have created arc, the number of parameters we need are increased, right? We don't just need 2 points with the coordinates, we need 3 points. And if we are choosing some other option to create the arc, I need to also provide radius, I need to also provide direction, I need to also provide the start angle and end angle. So parameters increased. If I'm going to create ellipse, even parameters are going to be increasing. I also need the minor uh, what they have called it, minor radius, major radius, etc. It's a start angle, end angle. So parameters increase. So based on which object you are creating, parameter goes on increasing, right? Now, if I take the example of extrude do have lot of parameters we need as an input, or we can play with to create our extrude feature. So we need to create a section, the input sketch entities or the entire sketch, or we select those sketch entities based on some selection filter, selection criteria. Then we need to specify a vector, then start value, start type, whether it is value, whether it is something else. Then we provide the value, then end, uh, then its value. Then we do have this option to play with, and we do have this option to play with. Then there is a draft, then there is option, then there are some settings. So lot of parameters, right? So what is going to be happen in usual case is that as you have created line, as you have created arc, what we have done, we have declared those variables. Those are required to create arc or line, and we have also defined or assigned value to those variables, and then we have used that API, and inside that API we have used that parameters of those variables, right? This was the typical way to create the line, but that was very comfortable when we do have limited set of parameters to declare and use. But what if we do have lot many parameters to declare? Like in this case, in the case of X2, we do have lot of parameters to play with. And in this case, it becomes tedious or lengthy process to go and declare all of those parameters and then use those parameters to create the X2. So in order to make that work or make those steps easier, so that we can even we don't need to declare all of those variables. That is why builders are created. What is builder? Builder is nothing but collection of all those inputs which are required to create that object. So as I am creating extrude with that builder, I don't need to take care of declaring all those input parameters, and I also declare them with the desired type and desired value, so that I can create extrude. It will be a lengthy affair if you are going to do that, right? So in order to avoid doing that and make the work a little bit easier for us as a developer, NXOpen has the builders, and then we can use those builders to create the object. So this is why the builders are there. So builders are there to help us. Though it is anyway going to be a little bit difficult to create the objects like this, like extrude, because there are too many parameters involved, and it's going to be still a little bit difficult for you. But still, they save a lot of time for us, and you will realize that over the period of time when while doing this. Now, other important or other useful thing that helps us using builder successfully is that your knowledge of NXCAD. So you know extrude, and you can easily able to figure out what are the important inputs that I need to create the extrude. So definitely we need a sketch to create the extrude. Definitely we need a direction to create the extrude, and definitely we also need the extrude distance in either side. At least these three parameters are required. Other parameters we can use as is default. Like I don't change this start value, end value. This will add the input distance. I will not change this Boolean option. So these are default parameters that I can keep them as is, and I can go and create my extrude. It is possible, and but it depends on uh, every type of feature. So it depends where it varies based on which feature you are creating. So your knowledge of the features, using those features manually in NX, that helps us use those builders successfully, because you don't know which parameter you are not declaring, which is important. If you don't know which parameter you are skipping to declare, and that might be important for creating that object, that feature. And if you go and use that builder, even if your code do not give any errors to you, but still it won't be get created, because as a tool, as a CAD tool, there are certain input parameters, those are mandatory for NX to create that object. And if you are missing out on one of that, your builder is not going to work. So you have to have the understanding of that feature, how that feature is manually created in NX, and that helps you use that builder successfully. Now, as we have seen the example of extrude, let's see the extrude builder class in an API guide. So let me search the extrude builder. Yeah, here it is. Oh, it is very simple page with no much of information. Okay, fine. It creates a builder, and what we need as a parameter, as a feature, we need to use in this constructor. Okay, let's see what is there in extrude builder. Yeah, so we do have extrude builder class, and we do have some information here. So let's just go through this. Yeah, so what it says, allow self-intersecting section. So this is one of the parameter. Angular tolerance, another parameter. Chaining tolerance. We don't take care of these tolerances because these tolerances are default somewhere there, and we don't play with them. We just go ahead with that. But as a programmer, as a developer, we need to provide each and every input, minor input to our program, because if we miss to give any important input, it's not going to work. So we need to understand that these are the uh, parameters, those are required. Those we easily like overlook when we create those features manually. Commit is very important of any builder. Commit means clicking on the OK button. If everything is very well defined, and when you click OK button, the feature is going to be created successfully without an error. But if any of the parameter is missing, you have noticed that you the OK button is not enabled for you, because you won't able to click that unless and until you provide all the mandatory inputs. So commit is pressing that OK button, and we do not have any alert or any that sort of thing which tells us in our program that you are missing some important input parameter to define. If we specify partial inputs, incomplete inputs, and go and commit that, go and use this API to commit our builder, means clicking on the OK button through program, then it is going to give an error. So commit is very important. So this is commit feature is just another type of commit. Then destroy is actually deletes the builder and cleans up the objects. So because builder contains several objects, and we do define some parameters to these objects, means we assign some values to these objects. Destroy meaning it destroys the entire uh, values of the entire parameters, entire variables of the feature of the builder. Then this is the direction related input. This is again a tolerance. Then we do have feature options. Uh, then this is get committed object. It means it is reading something, or it is giving some information fetched out of the object created. Get type uh, gets us the type of a feature, because we can create lot of different types of features using builder. Though we are looking at explore builder, but this is get type is a API that is related to the object. So it is an inherited API that we see here. Then what is related to the parameters? Section is related to the parameters. Yeah, so these are the few things that are related to defining parameters and to exclude builder. So this is about the builder, and as we go on with the examples on builder, you will understand how builders are used. Now coming back to the example again. So what we are going to do, we are going to create the program from scratch that creates a associative line using associative line builder. So we'll do that first, and then we'll come back to this journal and we are going to clean up this journal. So let's first start from scratch. I will delete. Okay, I think this is not the C sharp. So I have to go and change the settings. Can go to menu, preferences. You can even go and understand or remember these shortcuts. I can use Control 2. Control 2. I can select C sharp, and then I think Alt F11. No, not F11. Alt. I'm missing the shortcut. I am not able to remember that. Alt F8. So it is for playing Alt F11. It is edit. So I'm pressing Alt F11. Okay, not working since on my side. Okay, so this is how we can go and launch the editor. Now new, so that I get the template. Now I can delete this line and I can start writing the code just below this line. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to first, let me adjust my screen a little bit now. Yeah, so declare the work part first. So it's a part, then work part is going to be the identifier is equals to the, I will keep all small case to avoid the case sensitive related errors. The session dot parts dot work semicolon. So session is declared, work part is declared. Now I will go and initiate the associative line builder. So I have to anyway go and start with declaring the variables. So first variable that I am going to declare is NXOpen dot features dot associative arc space. This is going to be the type, right? Associative arc is object type, and I have to define it like this. I cannot directly go and jump to associative arc. I have to have these lines as well here. Okay, and then I will define the line. I will define the name for this. So what I will do is also line, the shortcut for associative line I will use as a name. Then is equals to null, or even I can keep it empty. Means I cannot go and keep it like this. We'll just define it because anyway it's going to be the null by default. Okay, so we'll put it null. Null means though we do have the variable, though we do have it, but it's empty, no value assigned. Then next thing is that we have to go and initiate the builder or define the builder. So the step one is you need to define the variable that is the object type what you are going to create from the builder. So we are going to create the associative arc. So Okay, so this is associative arc actually. Okay, fine. We can compare this with a line. There is no much of a difference. So we have declared that what we are going to create from the builder. So associative arc is declared. Now the next thing is NXOpen dot features dot associative arc builder. Now I am initiating builder, and the name of this will be arc builder is equals to I can go and define the value. Value will be work part dot base features dot create associative arc builder. So if you go to feature collection, you will find this API create associative arc builder, and we have seen this in case of extrude feature. So what is there in inside this arc builder? Create a extrude builder API. We do only have that object, the feature object. So in this case, that object is this one, associative arc. So I will change this associative arc. So we have to have that variable into this API create associative arc builder. If I am doing any mistake in the typing, typo mistake, it's definitely going to be getting highlighted as a error. But we'll see that at the end. Okay, so we have declared the object associative arc. Second step, we have declared associative arc builder, and we have also assigned the arc object to this builder. Now, what I will do is builder, which is name of this associative arc builder, dot associative. So this is one of the parameter inside builder. So how builder is helping me? I can directly click on dot and I get to use that uh, parameter, and I can go and define the value. So I know that it is a boolean. So I can go and define that as true or false. I want to have that line arc as associative. So I have used that as true. So you can, if you're using any builder first time, you have to get into the NX and try to create that. So let's have a look at that quickly. So menu, we insert in curve arc. This is feature. So what it gives me as options: 3-point arc, arc or circle from center. Okay, so why do have these two options to create an arc? Then uh, start point, end point, midpoint. That is based on this 3-point. If I use this option, then I do have a center point and point. So only these two. Okay. Uh, okay, fine. More. If I go and select more, then I do have these many options as well. Yeah, and you can see we do have a checkbox here. I can make this arc as associative by ticking this checkbox. So what I did the same thing. I have set that to true, which means this I'm ticking this box via a program, via that line. Okay, so associative is set to true. So other parameters I will go and define, like builder type, builder dot type, which is very important thing. Whether it is 3-point or whether it is with center and that. So I can go and uh, use this as is. I want to define it now. Copy is equals to NXOpen dot features dot associative arc builder dot types dot arc from center semicolon. Okay, so I have defined I want to create arc from center. Now for arc from center, I know which parameters are required because I know very well how to create associative line in NX. So I can go and start defining the parameters. Which one is first is point 3D, which is I name it as PT, and it will be a new point 3D into bracket its values. Let's say 15, 15, and 0. Bracket complete. Then I will use a point as CANPT and is equals to work part dot parts dot create point. We knew this very well, right? How to create point. And inside bracket, I will use this PT, which is point 3D, and I can create the point like this from create a point API. Okay, so I have created the point. Now builder dot center point. So what I have done now, I do have this point. Now I will assign this point as one of the input for the builder. So builder dot center point dot value is going to be this SENPT. This one. This is a point that I have created using point CD, and I'm using that as a value to center point for this builder. Okay, semicolon. So one parameter, important parameter defined, which is center point for the arc. Now I will define end options. So let's see if I can see the end options here. Menu, insert, curve, arc. So it is arc from center. So one is center point, which I have defined. Now I do have end option, right? So this is what I am going to define now in a journal. So it exactly works how you are going to use that pop-up of that feature manually. So we have to go that. So that is the basis for us to go and write our code for the builder. So what I will do now, builder dot end options is equals to NXOpen dot features dot, it will be too much for writing, so I will copy this associative arc builder dot end option dot radius. So I will use end option as radius, and then it's my time to define the value for radius. So how I can go and do that? Builder dot radius dot right hand side is equals to into the double quotes 8, because there are when we define any value for the builders, mostly they are defined as like this. So we have defined the end option, and then builder dot radius dot value. It's not like we don't have that dot value API here. So we have to use radius dot right hand side. It means right hand side parameter for that value for that option, and right hand side is always in string type. That's why we have to, even if it is number, we have to define it in double quotes. So as it is a number, but we have to define it in string. So that is why double quotes are used. Though it is going to be the double type or integer type, but this is how it is defined. So when we have used right hand side, it means it is a string, and we have to define that value in double quotes. So that is done. Now the next thing is builder dot limits dot start limit dot distance. Now I am missing out on the capital, so uppercase, lowercase, but it's fine. Right hand side. Actually, it is not fine, but I want to go a little faster when it comes to typing. So I am doing it. So start limit is defined. Now end limit I have to define. Let's see if there are these things I can even find here. End option is radius. Then radius is required to define. Then we do have limits. Start point, end point. If I want full circle, I can go with this. If I don't want end circle, then I need to define these parameters, right? So okay, this way I can define radius here. So let's start limit is defined. Now let's define end limit, and this time I will use 50. Start limit and end limit. Then if I'm sure that all the required parameters for creating are defined, I can go and commit this builder. Commit means clicking the OK button. So what I will do is NXOpen dot NXObject. My feature is a name. I'm defining NXObject now, and the identifier for this variable is my feature is equals to builder dot commit and then bracket and then semicolon, and then I will go and destroy all the destroy bracket and then semicolon. So I am destroying this builder parameters. It means I am though these all variables will be there, will stay there, but what I am doing, I am cleaning up all the variables. It means whether it is, if it is point 3D, the PT variable, it will be cleaned up. It means there will be not value to this. Even CPT, center PT, this will be cleaned up, no value to this. It will be made empty. So every parameter that I use here, it will be made empty in this one line. So why this is required to do destroy? If you are going to write an extensive program, in that program you are creating too many features one by one, then uh, you are creating too many variables, and these too many variables will also have too many values assigned to them. And then it is obvious that your identifiers for those variables will look alike. Like this is PT, then you will write PT1, PT2, PT3, then you will confuse. You yourself will get confused. Which one, which feature I have used PT3, which feature I have used PT8. So, so it makes sense that you destroy it. It means you clean up the entire memory of all the parameters. It means you are cleaning up all those values. And then what can happen? As you do have a PT here for a point, you can go and use the PT. You don't need to declare it again. What you will do is PT is equal to this. That's it. Then you are just only assigning values and reusing those variables. It can be possibility. So, but basically destroy is what it is doing. It is cleaning up the data of all the variables. That's it. Okay. Uh, yeah. So this is, I think I am done with the all the input parameters, and I have even gone ahead and committed this feature using this. Now you will ask, or you will have a question, why NXOpen object? Why this is declared here? Because what happens when we commit it, it is not just clicking on the OK button, but we get that feature object as well. And in order to store that object somewhere, I have declared is as NX object. I can even go ahead and declare it as feature, but I wanted to be safe. I don't safe means I don't want my program will give me error. So rather than going specific, I have gone little broader because next object can be anything, and my feature object I am anyway going to get it here. So I have declared it as NX object. Okay, so this way our all the parameters are defined, and this is how our builder is ready. Now little bit more about the structure or the template of builder. So I will explain this in step by step manner. Step 1, declaration of the type of variable which is equal to the object that we are going to create with the builder. That is step 1. Then initiating the builder itself is step 2, and assigning that object variable that is in the create builder API. So that is step number 3. Then after these 3 steps, what you see here, this entire thing, which is step 4, which is definition of the mandatory parameters to create that object via builder. And this part is differs feature to feature. Which feature you are creating based on that differs. Okay, that is step number 4. Then step number 5 is committing that builder. Step number 6 is destroying that builder. You are done. So this is the framework for builders. Step 1 to step 5. Step 4 is something that changes a lot based on which feature you are going to create. Okay, that's it. Now we are going to hit the play button and let's see if it creates a journal. It creates an object for me. I know that this is not going to work because I have not followed the case sensitiveness. It will give me error, I know. And lot of errors I do have got. Okay. Now let's try and finish that errors one by one. So it says that NXOpen. So I know that here it is case sensitive thing. I have to write X in and O in capital. Now line number 15, builder does not exist in the current context because I have written here as arc builder. So I can go and change the name because I have to use the exact name for the variables that I am going to use, whether it is builder or whether it is any other variable. So I have to go and make it arc on each of the line arc. Okay, and I will also, I know that this is case sensitive thing that I missed out. So I will make it. Okay, now I will leave it to this smartness of this journal, and I will go and sort all those errors one by one. So here as well, I am missing on the case sensitive thing, NXOpen. Then the next one, point 3 does not exist. So you can see it is saying point 3D does not exist, which is strange to know. P is capital. I think 3D is not required to be capital. Let me check quickly in API guide. You cannot see it, the screen, but I can go and check quickly. Yeah, point 3D is looks okay. It is, yeah, can notice I am missing to have one comma here. Okay, that is fine now. Then the error is on the next line, part. NXOpen dot part does not contain definition of parts. Okay. Work part dot parts dot create part. It cannot be like this, right? It should be points. We learned this object hierarchy yesterday only. So it should be points collection to create a point. Okay. Now let's move on to the next center point. Now here as well, case sensitivity is stopping us. Center point, then V should be capital. Then I think I have to do lot of things. Limits, L should be capital. E for start point, end point should be capital. Here as well, this L is capital. Then D for distance is capital. R is capital. Then H is capital. Then S is capital. A lot of case sensitivity that I missed. I have to correct it. Otherwise, it's not going to work. It is as simple as that. So making those all mistakes correct now. Let's see. Again, I do have something uh, different end options. So it is not end option, it is end options. Okay. Now what else? Arc builder dot end options. Okay. So I think I am doing something wrong here as well. It is builder dot end point option. You can see a lot of things to remember. Arc builder this time as well. S should be capital. H should be capital. Then next is next object. So I think O for this object should be capital. Now what's happening? I am going line by line, or this journal is smart enough. It is showing me the errors line by line. So I come to the last couple of lines where the errors are still there. Otherwise, everything else is right. Everything else is working fine. Okay. Builder. Okay. So this equal to 2 times here, which is typo. I see. Builder dot commit push. I think we finally had the arc created. You can see here. Oh, no arc created. Strange. What went wrong? Okay, arc is created. I think we were in that open window of arc creation, so that's why it was not working. So arc is created. You can see this is associative arc. We see that into the feature tree, and we can even see that here. If I go and see the information, I can see the radius 8 which I have used, and yeah, start point 15, end point 20. I don't get exact number because it is in XYZ form, but at the end the arc is created, which is associative one with that builder. Okay, so this is how it works. This is how we can go and write the journal uh, to create the extrude. Sorry, to create the builder. So extrude is going to be the next example that we'll see. But overall, this is all about the builder, and we'll do see a few more builders in upcoming sessions to understand more about builder. And I will also share with you how you can write the code easily, comfortably in Visual Studio. We are still on the journal file, and lot of manual things we are doing in journal to make our code work. But Visual Studio is something which gives us a little bit comfort when it comes to writing the code. The major question that might come up to your mind today is that how I know or how I'm going ahead with directly putting all those variables one by one, and I even know how I go and define that. Uh, how I know it's going to be the endpoint option, how I know that it's going to be radius, how I know it's going to be right hand side. So all of that actually, two things will help you here. We are anyway going to be learning those things through the journal examples or the other examples. Not, I will call it journal examples, because we are anyway going to move to write the code inside Visual Studio, and that time we more of a call it as a program rather than journal. So definitely there is some advanced functionality in the Visual Studio that will help you write these things quickly, write your code quickly, and yeah, as you go on and see a lot of these programs, you anyway able to figure it out, how you go and use different options of the uh, within the API. So use different options within the API. So you will anyway get to know about that. So let's quickly run through the associative arc builder in a API reference guide, and then we will close for today. Let me see API reference guide, and so the AQ arc, associative arc builder. Okay, we do have these two classes, associative arc class and associative arc builder. Let's start with the builder. Okay, you can see builder means we do have the parameters of that builder, whether it is associative, true or false, that I am setting using this API. Center point or radius or even diameter, end option, endpoint option, endpoint, then limits, midpoint, radius. So you can see these options are available inside builder. So whatever mandatory parameters that I have defined in a builder, those we have it here. So, these all are coming from here, and this is the information about those parameters of the builder that we have in builder class. Okay. Now this associative arc class, this is related. We know that what feature class has. Feature class has the APIs related to fetching information from the object. So associative arc is one of the object, and all of these APIs that you see here, that can fetch certain type of information from that object, from that associative arc. Okay, get children, get parent, get expressions associated to this feature, hide it, suppress it, get feature name. So all of those things, get parent, so those are here, right? So this is the object related class that gives us the APIs related to finding more information about that object. Okay, so quickly, this is what this uh, the reference of all those APIs that we have used, uh, that we can easily find in API reference as well. Okay, so with this we come to end of today's learning, and we will meet again tomorrow. Till the time, bye bye. Of course, as usual, you will be getting assignment to work on, and you have to work on that till the time you come back live tomorrow.